Pantry. So today I'm going to take you outside for another garden update. I'm super excited about this, and I hope that if you love gardening, you'll go down in the About section below and check out the links that I've left for you, because I've got a couple of things you might be interested in, as well as my Facebook page. Go join in over there. I post pictures that you would never see here, and keep you up to date and close-ups of what's going on out there in the garden. Also, you can join in on the conversation anytime. It's easy for me to answer you over there. All right, guys. Oh, and don't forget, my mailing address is down there, and so is Zaycon Fresh. So go sign up for free over there. All right, let's go outside and see what's going on in the garden. And I did take the walls of water off the tomatoes for a couple of reasons. It gives them a fantastic start, but I think that you're going to end up with some serious algae problems if you leave the tubes full of water all summer, number one. Number two, it would be a little harder on them and you wouldn't get as many growing seasons out of them. And the indeterminate tomato plants, and even the determinate ones, I don't want the splash so much from the dirt, and it's hard not to get that if you're putting the hose down in a circle, where this way I can hose and water from underneath. I also needs to be able to, I need to be able to prune them properly and keep those lower leaves up off the ground, because that's what causes the splash, and then the blight spores are on your plants, and because it lives in the soil. So there's the reasons why I did that. But I really feel like everybody got a really good start. We're the 1st of June, and I've already got tomatoes on the vine. I'm very excited about that, and I've got one that's almost ready to pick. So let's go outside and see what's going on. Come on.
Okay, let's start over here. Oh, we've got a tomato plant there, and it's flowering, so it's setting some fruit. And then I've got one right there that's almost ripe. Super excited. And I cheated and bought this plant at Costco. I felt bad. It was sitting there by itself, and yeah, I couldn't resist. It had tomatoes all over it. So, and it's starting to put new flowers on. So I'm excited to see how well it does. And that's a celebrity. So here at each end of the pergola, I did plant a bare root grapevine. We've got volunteer parsley, and peppers, and that is a Tabasco pepper. These are the Heinz ketchup aromas, and they are a determinant, so they do not need pruning. But I still want to keep those bottom leaves up off the ground a little bit. And a cute little solar bird bath. Flowers, my marigolds, and I've got radishes planted in between there. I've got my rhubarb, and this is a pepper as well. This pepper is a mammoth jalapeno. Still have some green beans I need to transplant. There's another grapevine. They haven't started to bud out, but I did get all the beans planted along here, and a lot of them were transplants. My sweet little grandsons came and pulled them, almost all of them out. So we had to go scrounging around for green beans. And I had green beans popping up everywhere. So we're going to have plenty, I think. Starts taking a morning snooze in the sunshine. And here's our herb barrel. The sage is going to flower. The chives are just beautiful. And then I've got beans here that'll be trellising here soon. I've got thyme and basil in here. And the girls. Oh, and I believe my little apple tree, I found an apple on there. These raspberries are doing really good. I'm having someone come and help get all the grass out of this bed along here. And then I'm going to plant in there. And I haven't decided. I really want to put 2 grapevines in here. I have 2 more bare roots. I think I'm going to put them down there, and then we can trellis them up to the fence. But there's raspberry, and it's getting flowers all over it. And very healthy plant. And this one, another raspberry. Also really healthy and flowering. And then the gooseberry. I trimmed this back because there's a sprinkler in the way. But we have little gooseberries on there, so we'll have a few of those. don't know if you can see them. They're little tiny, and they turn kind of a rose color. They're very good. I really like them. And this plant, you can whack on it and it does okay. So, and then this is a blackberry, and it's coming right along. I'm happier with it. I've fertilized everything. All the trees got fertilized, and I have to say, for this tree right there, it was probably the best thing I could have done for it. So let's go out to this garden. And the chickens just had their morning kale. They get a handful of kale morning and night. And I think once the guy is done helping me work on this, I will let them out to forage around the yard. So I've got, that's romaine, and there's some other little lettuces popping up in here, you can see. And I'm keeping the cloches on them because I want to make sure they get protection. And down here, I've got another little grapevine, bare root. And we will, once it gets big enough, we will trellis that like, a regular arbor grape, not up and over something, not canopy, but. So there's my tomatoes on the straw bale. Here is this, I don't know if you can see it, where is it? Let's see, there we go. That is there we go. I can't see. That is a butternut squash, and my raspberries are doing good down here. Everything's popping up, and those are, I believe those are heritage raspberries. And I've got garlic and green beans along this fence. Last year we had sunflowers along here, and so we do have some volunteer sunflower plants, but I'm not going to let them take over. And butternut squash, tomatoes, cucumbers in the center, more peppers. I planted since the last video, more peppers and a couple more tomatoes. Total, we have 45 tomato plants. Cabbages and blackberries down here, and another grapevine, which I caged them off because one of the dogs was very interested in what was in there, and a couple of times kind of dug around in there, and so just discouraged that. So these raspberries are doing very nice. Just beautiful. I'm super excited, and they're flowering as well. So we're going to take you to look what I got over here. I mean, I am super excited. We've got tomatoes. It's a tomato year. Hopefully we have a really good year because I plan on canning and freezing as many as I possibly can. I can freeze the ones, like when they first start coming on, or at the end when you're not really ready to can everything up in between canning sessions. Anyway, this is kale and cabbage and garlic, and it's fantastic. The kale is delicious. Look how beautiful it is. And I pick on this every day, and as soon as you pick on it, it starts putting out new kale. So these tomato plants were the ones that I took out of the walls of water yesterday, and I just feel like they'll be better off, and we don't have any fear of frost. That straw bale has tomatoes, basil in the center. We've got zucchini right there, and then I did plant a squash, or that's a yellow squash, I think. Anyways, I did plant a zucchini in the side of the bale and some lettuces, and they're doing okay. They're coming along. And beautiful peppers. Look at these peppers. This is the holy moly pepper over here, and this one's a Fresno chili, which I love Fresno chilies. Ooh, and we have baby tomatoes. Let me go in there so you can see. This is aroma. So it's got a couple and it's flowering, and I've got peppers on that Fresno chili. I've got celery on top and on the sides of this bale. And red bell peppers down here. And just beautiful tomatoes everywhere. So very excited. I guess I've got to pick some peppers today. And, oh, this is new. I got this stacking planter, and I love it. Now, we've planted some bare root strawberries in here, and I've got some cilantro up top. So we're going to see how the strawberries do in this. I just love the idea of these stacking planters because you can go vertical and keep your garden space down. You can stack these as high as 10, I think 9 or 10 stacks high, and be just fine. What a great way to grow lettuces and herbs, and I've got another one coming, so I don't know what I'm going to plant in that yet. We haven't decided. The mammoth rhubarb, and I'm going to pick some of this tomorrow, or no, the next day, and bring it into my client. I promised her some fresh rhubarb. And some more kale. Kale everywhere. And the baby rhubarb. Where is it? It's hard to see in this. Yeah, it's over here. And then this one just has one little leaf. But I've got one bare root that I planted from the nursery. Somebody must be getting ready to lay an egg. I hear her talking. Some lettuce in here and parsley. Another tomato plant outside the garden there. Anyway, the bare root rhubarb that I bought from the nursery hasn't come up, and I've watered very religiously, so I'll just take another cutting off of this one, and I know it's going to come up because I want one more in the under the pergola, the raised bed. All right, guys, so there's a glance at the garden, an update of what's going on over here at Linda's Pantry. And, oh, let me show you how the kale comes back as soon as you pick it. Because I've been picking on these. If you look, you can see the little leaves down here. They just start popping right back out. So, and they produce all season. They don't mind the hot weather. They don't mind the cold weather. They're the perfect plant. I've even got kale out front. So, that being said, I guess I'll see you next time. As always, guys, if you're not a subscriber and you like this sort of stuff, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Share it with your friends on Facebook. All right. Talk to you soon.